All right, everybody, welcome back to Re-Elevated. We are here at the Grace Ridge Mall in Grace, New York, and we are at the JCPenney. This is a 2-level JCPenney that opened up in the 90s at this mall. Now, this mall is a very interesting mall. It was actually 2 malls that joined together, and this store is at the centerpiece of that joint. So let's go inside, let's take a look, let's see what's going on here, and let's go on a tour. Like any JCPenney built in the 90s, usually from the mall, you walk inside and you're greeted usually with the jewelry section. So this is laid out a little bit differently. You have jewelry in different quads, actually, which is kind of different, kind of strange, but it's nice. Then you have JCPenney Beauty, which JCPenney Beauty was Sephora, and they really, with a lot of the JCPenneys, the beauties, they had it with the Sephora. They really didn't do a lot to them. They kind of just painted over it. Here you go, more on the jewelry section. They call it the jewelry store. This is really a lot out of the 90s. They really didn't touch a lot of it, but it looks really nice. You have the sconces here on the wall. I'm going to try to talk as loud as I can because the music is blasting in here. So here you go. This is the dresses area along with women's. And we're going to go straight right into the kids area here. On this level first. So, a lot of the JCPenneys, as of recently, have gotten rid of their quads. This store is no exception to that rule. This is where one of the quads was, right in this spot here. Now you have the Disney department, the Disney store. Now you have your boys section over here, which leaves you over with the petites here from the women's. Like I stated, the store was built in the 90s, so it still does retain a lot of that with the tile. Now, something that is new that's coming back is the fact that they're calling things husky again, which this is only one of the only stores that I know that's actually using that term again. But it's something that I do remember from when I was a kid. So that is kind of a definitely different terminology. Us people from the 90s definitely remember that term a lot. Now, we're going to head over in this direction over here. You have your girls section here, toddlers and babies over here. However, kids does have its own footwear section right along this area on this back wall. This store is laid out definitely a little bit differently. The fact that the elevator is all the way in this back portion here. And I guess this is where loss prevention was at one point. Let's take a gander here quick. I guess this is where that was. Here you go. I guess we're in Kmart too. That intercom is very distinct. If anyone remembers those days from the blue light specials of Kmart, but way back when. So we're going to continue on the first floor here. Continuing with girls and Girls Plus on your right. There you have also the Forever 21 section along here. This is with juniors. Forever 21 is dealing with an interesting dilemma at the moment. If you are familiar, they are closing some of their stores, so I don't know with the merger with Forever 21 with Pennies and a couple of the other brands, if they're just going to continue with just keeping it in stores like JCPenney and eliminating their other brick and mortar formats. So that is something to keep an eye on. Along this direction over here, you have your online order pickup and returns and your centralized checkout. This is a new format that JCPenney is going for, which a lot of people are not thrilled about, myself included. It makes things rather difficult, especially around the holidays when you have a lot of long lines. It is the same amount of registers, but you know, the illusion of having that long line, not a lot of variety, makes things difficult. On your left here is the women's department for your shoes, and your men's, not your men's, I'm sorry, your more women's shoes. Women's shoes is always a big department. Doesn't matter what department store you go into. Here's another spot where your quad would have been, evident by in the ceiling tiles there with your viewing spots. Very typical out of the 90s for sure. We're going to continue on down here into some people's favorite department of the lingerie. There's your clearance spot here. You're going to go back through the quad, former quad that is. We're going to go straight up the escalator to the second floor. Your Levi's section is down here as well, but I am going to point out before we go upstairs, the other side of the JCPenney Beauty. You can see where Sephora once was and how they've merchandised a lot of it now. Like I said before, they really haven't put much into it, and it really is quite disappointing if you ask me. I think they could have done much better with it, honestly. I mean, it blocks off a lot of the store if you ask me. But this is what they've decided to do, and unfortunately, with a lot of corporate and district managers, things of that nature, there really isn't a lot you can do in regards to core standards, but you know, that's unfortunately the way it is. Now we're going to go up the escalator here to the second level where men's and home is. It's a Schindler escalator out of the 90s. Look at this escalator atrium right here with the skylight. It is really, really pretty here. I will say that. A lot of different JCPenney's built during that era were very different. Look at the sconces here. Escalator definitely needs some help. Very, very tiny centralized checkout. There's your 90s green marble tiling. Probably another spot. Yep, another spot where the central quad was. I'm gonna head down this section here, and down here you have your activewear section, and back here is where your salon and everything was, and also where portrait was as well. I'll show you that quick. Very huge section. This definitely was where catalog was once upon a time. As you can see, there's 3 portraits in the back there, but they really haven't done anything to utilize the space. Right here was where portrait was. And you can see right here, they really haven't done anything with it. It's just sitting all vacant right now. It's really more of a signage storage room, if you ask me. They've just done the Sears method of just blocking things off. And then we're going to continue on into the men's department with more activewear. They've started to get out their more summer wear, bathing suits, more spring wear items, and then of course there's your massive clearance department. Just kind of nestled right in the back. Discover, save, and enjoy. Something for everyone, I guess. Then you have Mutual Weave, which is another one of the house brands. One thing you'll notice about JCPenney is they always focus on their house brands quite a bit. Really not a lot of home brands, national brands. I mean, all you have is what, Levi's? Yeah, here you go, you have Arizona. Something new. Forever 21 for men. Now this is something new that I've noticed. Another Forever 21 section. This is new here. So I guess maybe they are trying to get rid of the Forever 21 main stores. Because this is something definitely strange. Something new that I've noticed here within the last couple of weeks. Forever 21 Los Angeles. Academics is another one that's new. Something that I haven't seen before. It's mainly just been Arizona and St. John's Bay. And another one is Izod. That's another one that you most commonly see here. And of course Levi's, you can't forget about Levi's. Here's your Arizona. This is your young men's section over here. We're going to continue on over to the other side of the men's department through the atrium. I mean, just get a look at this thing. Isn't it gorgeous? Have both escalators going on. Just look at this, guys, right? Look at this. Just look. Isn't that beautiful? That's just gorgeous. Oh, there you go. You have Fry & Co., Columbia, Free Country, the American Outdoorsman, St. John's Bay Outdoor, that's a new one. And then you have, of course, your Big and Tall with Adidas, that's normal. St. John's Bay. That's what I would do. Major Wave. St. John's Bay. More St. John's Bay. Don't want to get any employees in there. That's not appropriate. More St. John's Bay. Another shot of the atrium over there. Here's your Izod shop. Over here. US Polo. There's your Adidas. US Polo. Adidas. Puma. There's another brand that you find commonly here. Another house brand again. Exertion. And another one as well that you'll find is the Sport Shop. Now another thing, more there like sportswear is stylists for men. You'll find those also in women's too. That's another one of their house brands. Now we're going to continue on over this way. In the men's shoe department. And that's also going to continue on in the men's suits area as well. So then you have Airwalk, Reebok, Puma, Clarks. Very tiny men's shoe department. And then you have your underwear with Stafford and Dockers. J. Ferrar is another house brand. Not a bad looking suit department. Very tiny, but you know, a lot of people don't come to Penny's for a suit anymore, unfortunately. They've really scaled down a lot of that. There's the prom shop. Not a bad look. I like that, actually. Then you have your Big and Tall suits. And as you can see by the floor, we're heading into the home department. They've done that in almost every store. Has ripped up their tile floor. I don't know what the purpose of that was. But here you go. There's your small electrics. Finding like your Instant Pots, your coffee makers, your cookware, which Martha Stewart has jumped ship from Kmart and Macy's, and now she found her home over at JCPenney. She still looks good. Maybe it's from her time with Snoop Dogg, I don't know, but she still looks good. Maybe she's also had a lot of work done too, I don't know, but I'm not going to speculate for that. Then you have your luggage over here. Bedding. Bedding looks all neat and tidy. I will say that about this store. Very, very neat and tidy. I think they also sell, yes they do, they have mattresses in the back. I will show that. But first, their organizing section for every room of the house, as well as diningware and glassware. which is pretty nice. As we continue on, as you'll see, more Martha Stewart. She really has made it known that she does not want to be anywhere else but at Penny's. So if you want to follow Martha Stewart, she is now at JCPenney exclusively. In every way, shape, and form. Liz Claiborne is still here as well, so Liz Claiborne, people who have shopped at Penny's for that, is still here. Here's your pillows as well, and mattress toppers, but here's your mattresses and what once was appliances, because Penny's did try selling appliances for a very short time, but they did pull out of that market after a few short years. I mean, back in the 70s, 60s, they did sell that, kind of like Sears, but they did pull out of that and then kind of try to make a rebound with it. And unfortunately, they didn't make it. They didn't like it. And unfortunately, never came back with it. But here you go again, kind of like with Boscov's. They have the curtains as well. It's the only other store that I know of besides Boscov's that does sell curtains. So that's kind of like their niche market as well. And they're made to order blinds. Here you go along here with all the towels as well. All very neat and tidy, I might add. And along here as well, men's is on the left, home is on the right. And they're all getting ready for spring, along with the candles. Who cannot forget the candles, especially Yankee Candle? And I will say, Midsummer's Night is my absolute favorite. So, if anyone might want to get me a Midsummer's Night candle, I will not complain. Not at all. We're gonna head back downstairs now. There's the directory. I'm gonna head back down. And there's the atrium again. Central checkout. Here's downstairs the jewelry. And there's your women's accessories. And there's dresses right in front of you. Now, just in case you don't know what store you're at on the escalator, you're at JCPenney. And it's a pretty decent sized store. You know, they make it work with what they got. And, you know, I gotta give them credit for it. They do a really great job. Everything's neat and tidy. And it's a really pretty looking store. With the $1 billion jewelry sale going on right now. I will say, Penny's always has great sales going on, as always. And now we're gonna exit out through the mall. And this is where I'm gonna leave you. But as always, this is the JCPenney at the Grace Ridge Mall. Remember to always like, comment, and subscribe to see more videos like this. And remember to always stay re-elevated. Take care.